Hey guys, this is a how-to video on how to change the fuel filters on a 2017 International A26. Changing your fuel filters is essential for performance and the longevity of your truck. This is something you cannot skip. So what you're going to need is some gloves, your torque wrench, safety glasses, some sort of cleaner, towels, a 36mm socket. On this particular truck, we also have a separate fuel water separator. First things first, you want to spray off the outside of the filter and clean it. This is essential so that you don't get any sort of contamination or debris in your fuel. That is something you really do not want. Afterwards, we're going to loosen up the cap so that when we're draining out the excess fuel, you have air coming through to allow it to drain. Next, you're going to want to grab your wrench so that you can take off the outside plastic ring on the filter. After loosening, start spinning that puppy. After taking off the cover, pull off the fuel filter and make sure that the rubber grommet is still installed on the fuel filter. You do not want it to stick in double seal. Next, take your cover over to a table and start disassembly. This is important to make sure every component is clean and that you can replace the old O-rings that are inside. On this housing, we have an O-ring on the plastic ring and one on the top screw. Using a rag and your cleaner, make sure to wipe out the inside to get all the contaminants out of the filter housing. Next, start assembling the parts with your new O-rings, starting with the O-ring by the plastic ring, then eventually going to the top cover and replacing the one up there. Before reinstalling the filter and cover, make sure to wipe off the housing assembly so that there's no contaminants getting into the fuel filter. Here's where you grab your new fuel filter and attach it to the assembly. But make sure your filter is fully seated before continuing. Next, we put on the housing, slowly putting pressure down while spinning the plastic ring until you can get it as tight as you can with two hands. Then you take your wrench and turn it an additional 3 ribs. Here's where your 36mm socket and your wrench will come into play. Start by loosening up your drain plug so that your excess fuel can drain out of the fuel system. Just like last time, grab your rag and cleaner and make sure to wipe off the top of the housing. You will need a drain pan for these next steps, so make sure you put one underneath before proceeding. Grab a hold of your wrench and socket and start loosening up the cover. After unscrewing the cap, slowly lift the filter and the cap out of the housing. After removing the filter, make sure that the seal is still in the filter and that nothing is on the standpipe. Remove the filter from the cap, bring your cap to a table. This is where you want to use another rag and some cleaner to wipe down the cover and also take off the O-ring. As you see here, it may be difficult to pull the O-ring off, but by using a pick, you can easily take the O-ring off. Once again, you're going to want to grab a rag and your cleaner and clean off the assembly. Using the new O-ring that comes with the filter, place the O-ring onto the cap and make sure that your O-ring does not spin. Spinning your O-ring may cause an uneven seal and possibly leak. After assuring that the O-ring is straight, next you're going to want to grab the filter and attach it to the cap. After attaching, bring it back to the housing and start putting it back together. You're going to want to keep on spinning until it gets hand tight. Next, grab your torque wrench and your 36mm and set the torque wrench to 25 Newton meters. Keep on spinning the cover on until it has reached the optimal torque. After assuring everything is tight, make sure you prime the vehicle 200 to 300 pumps. Priming is essential since most of the engine's components use the oil qualities of diesel to lube everything up. After assuring that the truck starts, make sure you take your leftover diesel and bring it to a proper disposal station. Lastly, if you have any messes, make sure to clean them up, since the liquids that you are using are very harmful to the environment. Thanks for watching. Bye!